Hey guys, welcome back to the All Sports Pass Podcast North. My name's Eli, I'm your host, and welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be covering the Tennessee versus Oklahoma basketball game today. And I say, it was a dominating game, but before we get into it, you already know I got to start off with the verse of the day. And today's verse comes from 2 Corinthians 4:6, and it says, "For God who said, 'Let light shine out of darkness,' made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ." And also, remember to like, subscribe for more college basketball content. Without further ado, let's begin the video. So for Tennessee, they came off in their recent game, it was a close win against Missouri. It was an 85-81 win, and Missouri was actually up on Tennessee 34-28 in the first half, and then entering the second half, Tennessee went off. They scored 57 points in the second half to get that 85-81 win. But the thing about it is that Tennessee going on the road to Oklahoma is something that I'm gonna be honest. I did not know how well Tennessee would play because Tennessee, in my opinion, has not really done too well on the road this year. Now, of course, they did get some wins, but in terms of like performance, of course, because Oklahoma is a new SEC team, so it was interesting. Now, of course, is currently Tennessee, of course, they did win against. Hold on, let me check here. They did win against Texas on the road. They lost to Vanderbilt on the road. They lost to Auburn on the road, and they won against Miami in a neutral site. Um, and they also won against Virginia and Baylor at a neutral site. And yeah, but however, I think that of course, now, and I'm going to be honest, SEC competition is you can never really know, honestly. In my opinion, the SEC is probably the best conference in basketball, and it's just wild. Like every game gets pretty wild. So yeah, but for Tennessee, um, they came into this game like they were going off, and I'm saying like Chaz Lanier, of course, led the team with 21 points, went 9 of 17. He had from with 9 of 17 field goals, and he also went 3 of 10 from 3-point range. But however, that's actually something I want to discuss. Like Tennessee's 3-point shooting. Now, of course, the stats of course, going to say 9 and 21 from 3-point land. But here's the thing: Tennessee they were making a lot more 3-pointers than in previous games, in my opinion. Like, of course, Zakai Ziegler, of course, going 3 of 4 from the line. Of course, Igor going 1 of 2 from the line, and then you had Gainey go 1 of 3, and then you had Dubar going 1 and 1, and it's just pretty amazing to me. Like, and they're also able to play so well in the paint as well. And I also think that the Tennessee defense was amazing this game. Now, of course, there were some instances, in my opinion, where they did leave some guys open, but luckily, Oklahoma was not really able to capitalize. But I do think, of course, that Tennessee is starting to figure this stuff out. And now they are, of course, like I said, they're 20-4 now. And when they go into March Madness, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens for them. And like I've said in like previous videos, but that I think, of course, that Tennessee's just done really good today. And now I do think that Tennessee is gonna be, they can be a tough team to beat. But for Tennessee, if they're gonna go all the way this year, I think it's gonna have to. I think there's still some improvements that need to be made. And I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying like things aren't working out or anything. I'm just saying that I think that of course, in my opinion, I'd like to see them play in the paint a little more, because you can't always rely on the three ball. To really bail you out of every situation. And I think I said this on the last video that I did with actually with Max. I actually I think that the three ball should only be used in desperation, and that's just me. I just think that, of course, that the three ball is, like I said, needs to be used in desperation. I think you should just go for the basket because if you keep on throwing up threes, you're pretty much giving the other team the ball. Because I want to say that you're pretty much like, and I'm saying if you miss, uh, like you're pretty much going to give the opposing team a defensive rebound because hey, three balls like they're tough shots to make, and for those who aren't really like into basketball or who think that, oh, I could hit every single shot. I'm going to be honest, man. If unless you're like Steph Curry, like prime Steph Curry. Now, of course, I don't really watch the NBA all that much as I used to. Uh, Unless you're like prime Steph Curry, then you'd be shocked by how difficult it is. But I do think, of course, that I did like what I saw Tennessee going into the paint, and I did, and I like the putbacks that were there. Like I think Tennessee is starting to figure out the space on the court on offense, and I also think that on defense, like they need to close up some space in order to not give the shooters a basketball shooter. Sorry, I'm just FYI, I'm not just like I know y'all are probably saying, but just because recent events, yeah, it's for some basketball leaving some guys open. That way, you can close up the space and kind of pressure them into putting up a shot that may not go in. And that's just what I think needs to happen. Like I think they need to close up the space, and I think they have to I think that in transition, like from offense to defense, they got to stay with their guys, and that's really what I think is going to have to happen now. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that Tennessee's like their defense, of course, the top defense in the country, and every defense is not going to be perfect, but I do think, of course, that and what I mean by I think is in my opinion. Um, but here, hold on. I just realized I forgot to pull it up. Sorry, guys. It's just been that kind of week. And actually, I take that back. They're ranked. Oh, this football. Why am I getting football right now? All right, hold on. It's just been that kind of week, guys. Hey, and here's the thing. There's a reason why you don't see me. Like you don't really see me on the well, here on Fox Sports, it says that Tennessee is ranked number 4 in the country. So basically, yeah, so they were number 1 to start. But yeah, and so I said, hey, just a little PSA real quick. There's a reason why I don't really edit too much of my podcast because I want people to know that I'm human. I make mistakes, but we just grow from the mistakes that we do. So yeah, don't be afraid to make mistakes every once in a while. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They're ranked 4th in the nation according to Fox Sports. But I do think that of course, today Tennessee with a 70 to 52 win over Oklahoma is could say something like, could they figure out what can they figure out the defense? And that's what I think that they did today. But I also think, of course, that for Tennessee is that their offense, like I mentioned, went off, and they're actually they were actually hold on, I'm on the wrong slide again, man. I guess you'd say it has been that kind of week for me. I guess. um, they were up 45-25 in the first half, and then Tennessee scored 25 more, and then Oklahoma scored 27 in the second half. To of course give Tennessee a 18-point win. But I will be honest that Tennessee, I think they're starting to. I like the rhythm that they're going with. I like what they're doing, in the transition. I like what they're doing in the paint, and I like what they're doing from three. But it's like I said, can Tennessee get like when March comes around? Can Tennessee potentially go all the way? I don't know, but we We'll see. And so for Tennessee, here's their remaining schedule of the season. They'll be traveling to Kentucky on Tuesday to take on the Wildcats. Then they host Vanderbilt at home after, and Tennessee's hoping for revenge after that upset loss to Vanderbilt on the road. Then we're going to travel to Texas A&M, and then they're going to travel to LSU, and then when March comes around, they're heading into their final 3 games. They're going to host Alabama. They're going to travel to Ole Miss, and then they're going to host South Carolina for the regular season final. So we're going to see really what happens in these next few games. But for Tennessee, they're 20-4. Seems like everything's going good right now. But it'll be interesting if they make any kind of changes coming in the next few weeks. Sorry, as I'm tripping over my words today again. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. Because hey, when March comes around, you don't know who you're gonna face until you get like the reveal of like the brackets. But I do think that, of course, Tennessee let's see how they do. And of course, let's see if they'll change it up before March, and let's see if they change it up on the court. And you'll hear me talk about it, as I do plan on covering. I think the next game I have covering this is Kentucky next week, and then I think Vanderbilt next Saturday as well. Yeah, so let's see what happens, and let's see if Tennessee can do it. All right, sorry got for y'all today. If y'all like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more college basketball content. And yeah, that being said, peace out. God bless. Have a good day. Remember, you all matter to me, and I love y'all.